Hey faculty, this is a quick video to demonstrate for you a feature that's new in Canvas that I think is really slick. It saves you some time, or at least it has saved me some time, and I thought I would share it with you. It's called the comment library. And essentially what it does is it stores frequently used comments in Canvas so that you don't have to retype them. And I'm looking at a discussion now, and let's just imagine that you're going to grade this using SpeedGrader, which is probably the most common way I would imagine you would use this feature. So you can click on these three buttons over here to go into SpeedGrader. Of course, I already have it open in this other tab. So if I click over there, we're going to look at this test student here. This is a test student account. And these are some old comments that I put in here, so I'll delete them really fast so we can add in new ones. And I just want to show you quickly how this works. And then, of course, you can let us know if you have any questions. But to give you a little bit of background, in the past, what I was doing is I would open up a new tab, and I had stored in a Google Doc comments that were my go-to comments, things that I used often. And I don't know if your students are anything like mine, but I had students that would repeatedly make the same kinds of mistakes. Or on the flip side, on the good side of that, the good side, they would often do things that I liked, and I wanted to give them a compliment or say good job or something, but I didn't want to say good job every single time to the same students every single week. And so I like to have a stable of comments that I could use really easily. And as I said, those were in a Google Doc, so I would open up a new tab, and then I would just copy and paste them back and forth between the Google Doc and then the comment section here in Canvas. And that worked okay, but I feel like this new method is faster. So again, we're looking at SpeedGrader right now. And if you see down here in the comments section where you can add comments, typically what I would be doing is I would put something, say, in the rubric, right? So I could give feedback that way. But I also like to put something in the comments box here, especially if it's something that has to do with something that may not be covered exactly in the rubric or some additional thing I want to say to the student. And so I could type those in here by hand, of course, right? Just by clicking here and then typing something. But now I can also add something from the comment library. So you see this little number 12 over here. Those are the comments that I have stored. If I click on that, it will open up and you can see all of these comments that I've stored in my comment library. In addition to these, I can add more. If I go down here to the bottom and write something, as soon as I put some text in that box, it asks me if I want to add that to my comment library. I can edit the ones that are currently in here, right? So I could click on the little pencil icon. And when I do that, I can add more to this comment if I want to. And if I want to drop that comment into the box, all I have to do, you can see it highlights as I drag my cursor over it, is just click on it. And when I do that, it appears down here, and then I can actually add additional things if I want to after that, right? So I'm not limited to only that material, but it's going to drop that comment in here for me. And then I just click submit and I'm done. It's pretty slick. And I think it's faster. It saves me a step from having to go to that Google Doc and do the cut and paste. It's all right here in Canvas. The other thing that's really nice about it is if I start typing something that is similar to something that's already in my comment library, it will appear over here, and it's basically asking me, do you want to put this comment in? And so I can just click on it, and the rest of that comment will appear. And again, all I have to do is click submit, and I'm done. So again, I think it's a time saver. It's probably going to make your life a little bit easier in terms of adding those comments to grades, especially things that are what I would call your go-to comments, the things that you use a lot. It's not a perfect tool, I would say, in terms of organization. For instance, if I click on this, you can see I've got 12 comments in here, and the list starts to get long. So if I had, say, 20 or 30 things in here, it might be a little tedious to scroll up and down through all of them. So if Canvas folks are listening, maybe they could create a way for us to organize these. But nevertheless, I think that even if you just have 10 of your most frequently used comments in here, you're probably going to save yourself some time, and you'll be able to give students more feedback, and you won't have to type all of that stuff manually. Okay, let us know if you have any questions.